What if I told you that the greatest football player of all time is about to play in his final World Cup? Not his first, not his second. A tournament that could become the last chapter. One of the most beautiful stories that football has ever seen. But here's the heartbreaking part. For the first time in years, fans aren't asking, can Messi win? They are asking, what happens after Messi? Because one day, football will continue. The World Cup will continue, but Messi won't be there. And honestly, it's hard to imagine. Think about this. When Messi played his first World Cup in 2006, there was no Instagram, no TikTok, no iPhone. A lot of today's fans weren't even born yet. Now it's 2026. Messi is 38 years old, and somehow he's still here. Still wearing Argentina's shirt, still carrying the dreams of millions. How is that possible? Because Messi was never normal. He never relied on speed. He relied on magic, on intelligence, on seeing things nobody else could see. That's why, even as he gets older, he remains dangerous. And that's why Argentina still believes in him. But here's something crazy. Messi wasn't supposed to become this Messi. When he was a child, doctors discovered he had growth hormone deficiency. His family couldn't afford the treatment. Many clubs weren't interested. Some people thought his dream was over before it even began. Imagine that. The greatest football player in history almost never became a football player at all. Until one day, Barcelona took a chance on him, and the rest became history. But there was one thing missing, one trophy, one dream, one World Cup. And for years, that dream felt cursed. 2006, too young. 2010, eliminated. 2014, heartbreak. Messi reached the final. He was so close. Then Germany scored, and the dream died. Millions watched Messi walk the past World Cup trophy. His face said everything: pain, regret, emptiness. Some fans cried, others blamed him, and for years, people asked a cruel question. Can Messi really be the greatest? If he never wins the World Cup. Then came 2018. Another disappointment. More heartbreak. And people started saying, it's over. Messi is finished. He'll never win it. And honestly, it seemed possible. Because football isn't fair. Sometimes legends never get their perfect ending. Sometimes heroes lose forever, but Messi had one more chapter to write. 2022, Qatar, the tournament that changed everything. Messi wasn't just playing football. He was creating art, goals, assists, magic moments. Every match felt like destiny. And then the final. Argentina versus France. Probably the greatest World Cup final ever played. Messi scored. France came back. Messi scored again. France came back again. Penalties. Millions of people couldn't breathe. Then Argentina won. And Messi finally lifted the trophy. The image went everywhere. Messi holding the World Cup, smiling, crying, a boy's dream, and actually completed. For many fans, that was the perfect ending, but Messi wasn't finished. Which brings us today, in 2026, and one huge question. Why is Messi still playing? He has won everything: the World Cup, the Champions League, the Ballon d'Or, countless records. So why continue? The answer is surprisingly simple. Because Messi still loves football, and because deep inside, every dreams one last miracle. His teammates still call him the best player in history, and perhaps they're right. But this tournament feels different because this time everyone knows this could be it. His final World Cup, his last walk onto the pitch, his final national anthem, his final goal, his final cheers. Even football journalists are calling it Messi's last dance. And honestly, that phrase hurts. Because football fans grew up with Messi. For many of us, he isn't just a player. His childhood, his memories, his impossible goals on YouTube at 2 a.m. He's arguing with friends about who's better, his joy. And here's something incredible. Messi could still break more records. He enters the World Cup with 30 career World Cup goals, only a few behind the all-time record. Some believe he has more than a 50% chance of becoming the top scorer in World Cup history. At 38, after everything, he's still chasing history. That's insane. Most legends fade away. Messi, he's still writing football. But maybe that's not the most important thing. Maybe the most important thing is gratitude. Because one day, we'll tell people, I watched Messi play. I watched him pass over differences. I watched him cry after losing. I watched him rise again. I watched him win the World Cup. And maybe, just maybe, I watched his final dance. So, is it really Messi's last World Cup? Nobody knows for sure. But one thing is certain. Football will never be the same without him. Because players score goals, legends win trophies. But every few people change the sport forever. Messi did. And that's why, whether he wins the World Cup or not, his story is already immortal. But now I want to ask you, will Messi win one more World Cup? Or is this truly Messi's last dance?